Alrighty, so today I want to talk about support units in this game, and specifically what are these best support units right now on Global Dokkan. Now, you can see that for Dokkan info, I am on the JP side of things, but it's not really going to make a difference for what we're trying to talk about in today's video. One thing I will briefly mention is that Tech UI Goku is going to be a very good support unit in the game moving forward, as he is giving dodge support to allies. So keep that in mind that this character at one point when he does come out on Global, he will have some usage. And key support is something that I'm going to mention in this video, so if you guys notice some characters that are like very premium units, like even Beast Gohan will be on this list, but I will explain why he is a support unit in himself. So, obviously I can't cover every single support unit in this game, but I have a bunch of tabs here you guys can see. I pulled up a bunch of different ones that have support utilities, some of the best ones in the game that you're going to be running on some of the best teams, and I also will make it like I will note right away that the 50% supports will be on here as well, but I will get to those at the end of the video, as these are characters that most players will not have, as it wasn't advised that you would summon for them. So let's go ahead and get started, and if you do enjoy today's video and find this list helpful, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more Dokkan content. So let's go ahead and get into it. The first character, Chi-Lai. Why is Chi-Lai a good support character? She is giving all allies ki +3 and attack and defense a +39%. Now she is not supporting herself, but that is okay, as her main role on the team, I'm sure if you guys have used her at this point, is going to be to dodge attacks, right? And something else that she can do is provide utility in the sense of the way that she is stunning characters, as well as sealing characters at a 100% rate, excuse me, and then stunning. So if a character or a boss is not immune to debuffs, you are going to be able to use this character to kind of limit the enemy from doing much. So what else does this character do aside from just doing support? She is also providing a scouter. You can see here by the first list of the passive, reveal the location of the enemy super attack during this character's attacking turn. So that's going to be very helpful. And something else she's doing is being a rainbow orb changer. So this is like the epitome of a support character, right? She's giving stats to other allies. She is providing utility with debuffs. She is giving defensive support. We've talked about that. She's changing key spheres, and she is dodging as well as giving a scouter. So this is one of the best support units in the game. You honestly, like, this is a character that you can just run off lead and it doesn't matter, because you can see she is not on many categories, but it literally does not matter. Like, if she gets caught with a normal, she's gonna throw even if she's under a leader skill. So it's like, you know, this is a risky support character, but a very good one at that. So let's go ahead and move on to the next character, and that is going to be 50% or 60. What is he now after his EZA? 50% still, or is it more than that? I know he is very good for support, right? Let's see. Oh yeah, so when HP is 69% or less, right? Plus an additional, so here's the support with this Kid Buu is doing. This is one of the best support units in the game right here, especially considering how good he is after his EZA. So if we look right here, we have when HP is 70% or more, he's giving 50% support. This was just a lot to look at, but plus an additional ki +1 in attack and defense plus 10%, so 60% support for superclass allies, and an additional ki +2 in attack and defense plus 20% for extreme class allies. So he is a 60% support for superclass and a 70% support for extreme class, depending on the HP that he has. And then he's also going to be a 30% support while being a key support for superclass, as well as a 50% support still for extreme class allies. So a team like Majin Power, this is one of the things that helps that team run at the efficiency that it does, because this character is doing so much for that. Also on top of the healing that he has, the chance of performing crits, which doesn't really matter for the support, but when it comes to stats, there are not very many better units in the game for support than this guy, especially considering all the crazy things that he is doing. So Physical Kid Buu, this is one of the best this is one of the best support units in the game in terms of individual performance, and I think he definitely deserves a spot, or at least being covered in this video. So let's go ahead and move on to the next character, and that is going to be the 50% support Majin Buu, or Super Buu. Very simple. This guy's just a 50% support, and then is giving additional stuff like this. You know, it's really just kind of like whatever. Unfortunately, like, these characters got their EZAs and then they were cracked, and then he kind of just like tapered off a bit with the 9th Annie events. But this is still a very good support unit. So if you do have him, I don't want to talk about him too much, but you guys can see he is a 50% support. So this is very, very good for a character like this. So keep in mind, there will be some more on this list, and we'll get into them later. I guess I just forgot to reorder the tabs. But let's move on to this version of Orange Piccolo. What is the support that he is providing? It's very simple, right? All allies ki +2 right here. This is basically what his support is. He is key support. He gets hit, and that's basically it, right? Like, he gets hit and gives the enemies or he gives key. But he is also providing a full heal when HP is 30% or less of the character's turn after they receive an attack 7 or more times in battle. So You want them kind of in slot 1, slot 2. You want them to get hit a bunch, and then they are going to provide a heal for the team as well as key support. And then one other aspect of support that they are going to be providing for the team is the Orange Piccolo form, where they can potentially get rid of AoEs for other characters as well as super attacks. So that in itself is a bit of a support aspect. So we'll go ahead and talk about that. But let's move on. I accidentally opened that tab twice, but here we go. The next character for our boy right here, or another very good support character, excuse me, is going to be 17 and 18. So what do they do for support? They are a Rainbow Orb Changer. They provide, what's it called? Where is it at? All allies for tournament participants, they are at 35% support, and then key +1, attack and defense plus 17 and 18% with 7% key spheres obtained. So that is very nice. They're giving additional support, and they're giving, where is it? Right up here, right? It's right here on the support. They're raising all allies attack and defense plus 35% for 2 turns after they super. So this is going to be a character that not only supports on the turn that they are on, but they are also supporting on the turn that they are the turn after the one that they are on. So this is going to be an instance where, like, if you're running 2 of these guys and you keep them on rotation, you could just have permanent attack and defense plus 35% support based on their super attack effects, right? So that is very helpful. I think this character is very, very good. Obviously, they are an orb changer as well. You can see right here for 4 turns. When there's another reps of U7 category ally, the U7 team, especially after part 3, heading into Tanabata, this team just gets crazy. So it is going to be a very, very good character to make sure that you have at some point, but just for the purpose of support, that is going to be something that helps out very well. So let's go ahead and move on to the next character, and that is going to be Revival, Piccolo, and Gohan. We have Master Student Bond and Master Disciple support, 30%, very, very nice. And then we're getting more support for 30% support when superclass allies, when they're in slot 3 for 3 turns. So very nice for support. This is going to be very helpful. We have damage reduction and stuff like that in the second turn, so you could potentially turn them into a more tanky unit, or you can give them a more of a support role by putting them in the 3rd slot. So that is going to be very helpful, right? We also have a Revival, and then when we go into this version of Gohan, I just want to make sure we're not missing anything. We are giving extra key, so extra key is always helpful. But on a team like Bond and Master and Disciple, when you are running Beast Gohan, key is not going to be too much of an issue, as Beast Gohan gives 3 key in slot 1, not even in slot 1, but after he gets hit, so essentially in slot 1. So that is going to be helpful. So this guy is providing extra support as well as extra support in the 3rd slot, becoming more of a tank in the second slot or the 1st slot. And then they also have a Revival, which is going to protect you from a little bit more. So let's go ahead and move on, and that is going to be this version of Golden Frieza. This is a very tanky support unit that's going to be very helpful for the Super Bosses team. I'm sure a lot of you guys who have used Broly have used this character on the same team. So reduces damage by 60% on first appearance, very nice. And then we're getting extra damage reduction when obtaining 3 or more key spheres. And then from the 5th turn, we are going to be getting 40% damage reduction. So not the best, or pretty good for damage reduction, right? And then reduces damage by a further 20% when there's another Super Bosses category ally. So if you have Broly around, if you have any of those characters, Rose, Zamasu, all going to be helpful. And then key +2, attack +60%, and defense +30% for the Super Bosses category. A very straightforward support unit, has a lot of damage reduction, provides a lot of stats for the Super Bosses team. All is going to work out pretty well. So I think this Golden Frieza is a great support unit that you can pull on any banner moving forward, so that is going to be helpful. Let's move on. Krillin and 18. You guys can see here, this is going to be a... Where's the support on these bad boys, right? Attack and defense plus 50% per all super... when HP 50% or more at the start of turn, they're giving 50% support. So that is very good. And then when there's another superhero category ally attack in the same turn, they get extra crit. And then they're giving key +1 for all allies in the superheroes category. So this is a very good unit to throw on the superheroes team if you don't have like the top end characters for that team just yet. Say your account is newer, this is going to be a character that's going to work very well for you. Then giving, this extra stuff right here definitely helps. So attack and defense plus 50% support, and then they're going to have dodging and stuff like that. This is a very decent support character I think that you can use, and will work out pretty well on the superheroes team if you need to use them. So let's go ahead and move on. We're going to be looking at Pan. This version of Pan right here is giving superhero support, and then plus an additional key +1 and attack and defense plus 20% for characters who also belong to Bond of Parent Child. So who is she supporting and making look very good? LR Ultimate Gohan, LR Beast Gohan, characters on that category, right? UI Goku, Evolution Blue Vegeta. She is going to make all of the characters on Bond of Parent Child look much better, especially when they are on the superheroes team, right? She has chance to dodge. There's just a lot that she's doing, right? Especially in slot 3, you could toss her in there and she's going to hopefully just kind of sit there, give support, dodge. She's going to be doing all of that and really making the team look better. She is something that's going to well oil the superhero machine, because it's just going to work better, right? I think that this character is a little bit underrated. I don't really feel like we talk about her enough as a support character, but that is just kind of in and itself with the way that power creep has gone, where this is a character on the support side where it's like these new characters, like these top tier LRs, are just becoming support characters, and it does make things a little bit tricky, but she is still a very, very phenomenal character. So as a support unit, you can't really ask for too much more. Dodge chance, the ability to stun, support for Beast Gohan, all these things are going to be extremely, extremely helpful. So let's move on to LR Bulma. Now, LR Bulma is a very, very good support unit. But the issue with Bulma right now is just kind of the teams that she is on. You know, Dragon Ball Seeker's not great. Dragon Ball Saga's whatever. Peppy Gals could be interesting on JP soon, but not for global. Youth is not a team. Earthlings is not a team. And then Earthbred Fighters is a team, but again, it is a little bit tricky right now to run. And then Power Wishes is just okay. So what does she do? She changes key spheres to rainbow key spheres, so that is good. Rainbow orb changes are always nice. We have damage reduction plus up 7% up each turn, up to turn 11, so we're going to have that. We have key plus 3 and guards all attacks, so she has guards, so defensively she's going to be good. And then as long as she gets her orb, she is going to be giving all allies basically 40% support, and that is going to be helpful for 5 or more key spheres obtained, and then gets a guaranteed additional with 7 key spheres. And this is going to be a character that is going to get those 5 key spheres almost every time because they are a rainbow orb changer. Rainbow orb changers just make things so much easier for everybody. Like when I'm running the Broly trio on my global account, like I'm always trying to keep them next to an orb changer, just because it makes life a lot easier for you. So let's go ahead and move on. And now we have Beast Gohan. Now I know, you know I couldn't help myself. I had to toss in Beast Gohan. What does this character do? On his unit super, he's giving all allies crit. And then he's also disabling the action, which is going to help. He has a taunt, which protects the enemy. And then all he's doing essentially is just giving key plus 3 when he gets hit, right? So that is basically it. And then he's also just giving key plus 2 after he takes a hit after 5 turns. So with his intro buff, you know, giving that key plus 3 is going to be very helpful. He's very similar to Piccolo, where he can protect the rotation, give the characters key, and then also give extra crit chance for the turn. So I'm going to talk about Beast Gohan as little as possible because I talk about him in every video. The last support unit I want to cover before we go over the 50%, aside from Boo, because we already talked about him, is just this version of the Gammas right here. This is a character that just does dumb support, right? Superheroes, Join Forces, and Defender of Justice category allies, key plus 3 and attack and defense plus 50. I believe, if I remember correctly, now this could be a translation issue, so I'm sorry if this isn't the case, but I believe these stack per category. So a character that is on like Superheroes and Defenders of Justice or Joined Forces on Defenders of Justice is getting 100% support, or if a character that's on all 3 is actually getting 150% support. So I believe that's how that one works, but that is the main version of support that they are bringing, but they are also giving us a standby, which is very nice because it's going to help you stay protected in fights. And then we are going to, you know, the issue with them, I think like the big issue is orb changing. That is kind of like their big thing, but not a bad character whatsoever, but they do provide very good support for characters like Beast Gohan, other versions of the Gammas, Defenders of Justice. Just a lot of those characters in general, I think, are going to work out very well for you. So that is going to be the kind of wrap up here for some of the support units. Let's talk about all the 50%, and then we can get up on out of here. Alrighty, so these characters are all kind of functioning in a very similar way, where they are going to be getting extra attack, defense, and stuff like that for key spheres obtained of that typing. And then we're also going to have guard on most of these characters. So they're going to work very similar in principle. But the reason I don't want to spend too much time on these is right now they are exclusive to their own banners, which are going to be like typing banners where you can pull LRs of that typing on there. But I wouldn't recommend that you go out of your way to summon these characters, right? But the first one we have for HGL is Pan. And then the extreme version that we have here is Mr. Hyper Metal Rildo. And then for the tech version, we have TN, and then the extreme version is its second form Cell. For the STR version, sort of super class, we have our boy Kaba, and then we have Hit for the extreme version. Then, kind of rounding this out for the int typing, we have Kid Gohan from Namek, and then Vegeta from Namek for the int typing. And then the last character, just to quickly look at, is Physical Ultimate Gohan. So like I said, these characters have guard at the beginning, they are orb changers, very good for that, and they become much, much better for with a bunch of orbs obtained. But the problem is you probably have them in slot 3 and you are not going to be building the team through these supports, but they are very good characters. But again, it is tricky because they are just giving attack and defense per the super or the extreme type. So it's like you're not going to run this guy on a Majin Power team just because he's a physical booster, right? Because you can see it's for super physical. So it's like you have to kind of watch how you're building the team. Like you're not going to want to use Hit if you're using like the Universe 6 Saiyans, right? Because those are super characters. So there you guys have it. A lot of the best support characters within Dokkan right now. Let me know down below what you guys think. What are some of your favorite support characters to run in the game? A lot of these characters are going to make Beast look better. A lot of these characters are going to make the Gammas look better, even though the Gammas are supporting themselves. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you did enjoy. Don't forget to leave a like if you did. Subscribe if you are new, and I'll see you all in the next one.